listening to the Lord and Richards Show, and this is Colin Richards, president and founder of Lord and Richards, and I'm always excited to help folks in any way I can. I'd like to encourage you to click over to lordandrichards.com to learn more about our team, learn more about what we offer our clients every single day. Well, we're continuing our discussion today of market volatility based on the principles found in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not to your own understanding, acknowledge Him in all your ways, and He'll direct your path. So we're talking about not leaning to our own understanding, those impulses that maybe drive us to fear or to make irrational decisions as a result of things that are going on in and around us in the world today. And so what I want to help you with is understanding market volatility. And we've talked a little bit about what a correction is, what a bear market is. And we've been talking about what triggers market volatility, including just unexpected events like black swans or general fears around what's going on in the world. So what does a market correction mean for your investments? Number one, understand that it's normal. Again, we don't want you to go through it without a safety net, so we don't have to have a bottomless pit under our feet. But we want to make sure that when markets drop, we accept that as an ordinary, normal thing. Now, I know you've worked hard for your nest egg, your retirement, and you want to make sure you don't lose it, right? So that's why it's important to build a risk management plan so that the movement within your portfolio is within parameters that we set together based on not only your goals, but also on your fears. Two things to remember: buy low and sell high, right? We all know that. Buy low, sell high. We want to buy at a discount. We want to sell at a premium. You're in it for the long term. What happens when we start to make irrational or emotional decisions in the midst of market volatility? In the midst of market volatility, we begin to make foolish mistakes that can literally take money out of your pocket. History tells us that this is going to pass. The markets always recover. And so what we want to do is, if you feel strongly during a period of market volatility that you really maybe are too aggressively invested, then we want to take a step back, build a plan to shift some assets as the market recovers, right? So we don't leave you in a position where all of a sudden you go to cash and you truly lock in a permanent loss on your portfolio. So let's talk a little bit about fear, okay? I understand when folks are still worried. That's why, again, we take a lot of time at Lord & Richards to help understand, both on your side and our side, how you feel about risk. We don't want you going through the market drops that inevitably happen with fear and with anxiety, with the urge to run to the doors. But what we do is we do that in advance in a safe, antiseptic, clinical way. We take some tests and we do some fun things on the board, and we help you determine, hey, this is, if I were experiencing a market drop, this is the range that I'd want to stay in and not experience anxiety. This is the range that would allow me to not lose sleep at night. And then we can help design a portfolio that can stay as close as possible to that range. You know, we've experienced a lot of volatility recently, and some of us are starting to realize, wow, I may not have been as aggressive as an investor as I thought. Don't fall into what we call the investor psychology cycle. It really, unfortunately, starts with, kind of all the hype. Hey, you know what? The market is looking good, so wow, I'm smart. I'm euphoric. I'm thrilled. The market's going up. There's enthusiasm, excitement, optimism. And the market then begins to cave, and we begin to have a sense of desperation, a sense of capitulation, a sense of despondency and panic, and we make poor decisions and we sell as the market drops. And often you know that the market has reached its low when the average investor is selling, because that's how long they tend to wait, and then they tend to get back in after the bull market, right? Because then there's hope, relief, optimism. And then as we continue in that cycle, we just find that our poor decision-making has cost us literally years of potential retirement. So what do we need to do instead? Well, what we need to do is build a plan, a comprehensive plan, to make sure that we don't make emotional decisions that could potentially damage our retirement, but rather we focus on building a plan for your retirement future that allows you to sleep at night, to retire without worry, without anxiety, a plan that addresses your feelings about risk, a plan that addresses your income needs, a plan that addresses other areas such as healthcare risk. You know, the number one cause of bankruptcy in retirement today is healthcare, chronic illness, long-term care. It's a devastating cost, and we want to make sure that we plan for it. And then, of course, building a plan to make sure that you don't pay more in taxes than you should. The Bible says, pay to Caesar what is Caesar's, and then pay to God what is God's. And I always say, you render to Caesar, but not one dime more than he deserves. Through good planning, careful planning, we can help avoid money just trickling out of your home, trickling out of your family, trickling out of your legacy into the hands of the government, nursing homes, and, of course, hospitals. And then, of course, looking ahead to the future when you pass on. Proverbs 13 tells us a wise man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. So knowing what's going to happen when you die with your money and where it's going to go and how it's going to be used. All of these things come together, and we call them a financial independence roadmap. And the first step is really just to get together and talk about your situation, learn your goals. It's complimentary to meet with us at Lord & Richards. We employ a team, a powerful team, a compassionate team of advisors who are helping folks every day, just like you, to get to and through retirement, to make it without fear and worry, to have a written plan, and then to keep that plan updated for the rest of your life. It'd be my privilege to help you. It'd be my privilege to talk to you and learn more about your goals, your dreams, your values, and then help you build a plan for your retirement future. It really involves sitting down, taking that first step. It involves giving us a call and setting a time to meet. I'd love to do that. I'd love to introduce you to our team. I'd love for you to experience the difference of what it means to work with an advisor at Lord & Richards.